Welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. Today's video is for you Cancer for the week of January 9th. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you are returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. What I'm going to do for you today, Cancer, is a simple, quick, basic relationship spread. Kind of give you an idea of the emotion, the energies leading into the week of January 9th. Give you an idea of where you and whoever this romantic interest is, where the dynamic is, where will the connection be. And then, get their energy and kind of see. Now you got a little bit of forewarning instead of no warning at all. With this reading as well, if anything is vague, doesn't happen too often, but if anything is vague, if anything just a little too broad and doesn't really make as much sense as it should, I do have a second deck right there for clarification purposes. So Cancer, since this one is for you, I'm going to start off with you. This one might be hard to follow at first because it's a lot to unpack. It'll make sense, I promise you. It really will. It'll make sense. Starting it out, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is a dedication. It is a desire. It is a thought in motion. It is actual willpower to building in the physical world. And this could be anything from building a physical relationship, actually like getting it going, you know what I mean? To getting a job, to building a house. It is simply put, building of something in the physical world. Whatever that desire is, Cancer, that is what this is. It's actually putting your heart into making the physical world, making your goals in the physical world come to fruition. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then you have Death, which is, it is a big, so it's a major arcana, so it's a big message. There's transformation in relationships every day. Everything that you do can change the relationship in some way, be it big or be it little. This signifies a big change in the relationship. This could be, for you, a change in the relationship status. It could be the new phase of an existing relationship. Could be the end of an existing relationship and jumping into a new one. The end of a cycle of grief, leading into a change in a relationship to a more positive or potentially negative. But this is the ending, also a beginning, and learning to let it go and move into the next phase, but in a big way. There's a major change coming. And then you have Judgment, which is accepting failure, which is letting go of the past, which is forgiveness. It is reconciliation with the reality of what has transpired. Aquarius, or Cancer, this is going to be a very, very, very emotionally charged week, at least at the beginning, because you are going into it with a really profound feeling of change, but it's not emotional in the traditional sense of going into it red-faced and tears, the ugly crying, or being excitable, or every stimulus is heightened, or if you hear a joke that isn't that funny, but you are so emotionally charged that you are just laughing obnoxiously, and everybody in the restaurant's like, what the crap is going on over at that table? And you just laughed and spilled your drink to the why did the chicken cross the road joke. This is different. This is a week of, you know what you've lost. You know what this pain was. And you are finally coming to the realization of your role in this issue, and whatever this issue's role was with you. This is a week of understanding and reconciling with your world, Cancer. I mean, this is a reckoning time. Whatever this issue is that you've been struggling, that you've been building so hard to get past, this may not be something you can get past. There are some things that we cannot overcome, and we can go around the wall, but sometimes we get to a wall that we just cannot climb. So you can either go around that wall or you can tear down the wall. And in this case, it doesn't look like you're attacking to try to tear down the wall anymore. This is the case where you've realized that this wall cannot be climbed. It's not worth climbing. It may be an argument that is just not worth having. So I'm going to accept the fact that I could not do this. I could not build this success that I was trying to build. I could not complete this task that I was trying to complete. It is just unattainable. I don't know about you, but I cannot swim across the Atlantic. I cannot. I would drown. I would die. That's all there is to it. That is a wall I cannot climb. However, I can accept that I cannot do that. I can accept it and understand it, that I will never break that world record. It's not going to happen. It's not in my future. But if I want to go to Europe, I could always buy a plane ticket and go around. In this case, go over, but bypass the issue that has been standing in my way. This is going to be a humongous week of coming to a realization. This is a week where letting go of your past, letting go of this issue, accepting failure may result in you having to do something really difficult, and that is apologize to somebody who you know is wrong. If the other person's wrong, but you have come to the realization that this is literally not an argument worth fighting over, this is something really stupid, maybe this is the time to grit your teeth and just be like, I'm sorry I argued with you. Don't give in to lies, obviously. Don't admit that you're wrong when you're right. But this may be one of those moments where in a large fight, you just say, I'm sorry I argued with you. You know, I didn't want this to be something we argued about. Can we move past it? It was wrong of me for, getting so mad about it. That's not you admitting that they're right, because what you don't want to do is validate somebody who is wrong, but at the same time, you can still end this bad situation on a good note by taking the higher ground. This is a big situation. It's been weighing on you. You've been trying to build something better, and I think this building toward the future in a physical sense has come to an end. Whatever this desire is that you've been working toward, you're realizing that it's not going to happen. Maybe there's a new hobby that you've been joining into, and it involves painting little figurines, and you just don't have a steady enough hand. You're going to realize that this is a week of realization. Man, Cancer, could be good, it could be bad. It really could. Because sometimes that also means that you're slipping into a new status quo, a new state of mind, and that state of mind may not be healthy. So always keep your eyes open, and you're always be feeling your gut to know if what you're doing is the right thing. But this energy, powerful, very powerful. So Cancer, let's see, and I do apologize for misspeaking earlier. Cancer, let's see what your interest is for this week. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Well, they have the Queen of Pentacles, which is generosity, dependability. This is somebody who is supportive in the physical world. Somebody who tips very well. Somebody who, I'm not saying your specific person, but what this describes is somebody who tips well at restaurants, somebody who will put change into the homeless person's hat or whatever, somebody who's in that type of very loose with money, very loose with physical possessions. Keep that last line in your mind. They then have the Queen of Swords, which is a logical approach, which is truth, somebody who can understand how to get from point A to point B, backing it up with facts. And then they have the Page of Pentacles, which is the ability to manifest in the physical world. What I'm seeing here for them is somebody who spends money. Somebody who spends money, somebody who spends time, who spends the physical world doing things that you may not like. They may be spending money on stupid, frivolous stuff in your mind, like, video games, I love video games, but in your relationship, they could be spending money on like mobile games where that stuff adds up. There was a story a while back about some kid who was using their parents' phone and was buying stuff for a mobile game, and it's so easy to do it, and it's so easy, you see, it's only $10, and that's that logic. It's only this amount. But then when you step back and realize, I just spent $1,000 in a month on a mobile game, or I just spent $1,000 in a month on some kind of figurine, or I just spent $1,000 in a month on, leisure things, movies, or, signing up for a ton of streaming services only to watch one show, one episode a week, something along those lines. They are very loose with their money, but they are able to communicate the logic behind it. It's only $10. It's just one thing I want. It's just one thing I want. I don't treat myself very often. Whatever kind of logical excuse that they're coming up with, that they're backing up with with facts, because the fact is, that thing they want, yes, it is only $10. That is a fact. But that's bypassing the fact that that $10 adds up quick. And that's where the story was going with that kid, is it was racked up a humongous credit card bill just on little things in large numbers. And with phones, with any internet device, it is so easy to just rack up bills. It really is. You have people that use DoorDash. Like, I just want something from McDonald's, and yeah, today's lunch is only $12. I mean, you do that 2 days, you do that 4 days, it's $50 gone right there. I mean, that's it. That's gone. That's $50 whole gone. And just McDonald's food. But they were hungry. They didn't want to cook because they weren't feeling well. Factual reason, poor excuse, but backed by fact. And this is the big one, is they have the ability to do it. They really have the ability to do it. This is one of those people that they probably have their own bank account, or they have their own credit card. But just because you got your own credit card, and this is something that so many people fail to understand. Relationships 50-50. If I have a credit card, my wife has a credit card, if I put something I want on that credit card, that's still our money that has to pay for it. Because the money we bring in is, from my job and from hers, is our money in the relationship. And that's something that sometimes people can't quite see, that what they're doing, even though they're paying for it out of their job's income, that income is still your household, your relationship, your combined interest. I mean, you don't even have to live together to still have a combined interest in something in a future. And if this person, for example, if you and a partner have a kid, but you're not together anymore, that kid is still a binding force, and money should be, the focus of both of you, even though you're not together. The focus should still be that child's future. And if this person is spending their time, more time, not on that focus, then that means you have to put more into it. And that's your relationship, your child, whatever this focal point is, it is a two-person endeavor. And whatever that they are doing, whatever they're spending on things that they should not be spending it on, is going to hurt both of you. But this powerful energy going into it, this is the end of compensation. That's what this is. Be ready for some fights. Be ready for some arguments, because Cancer, I said a lot of crap going into this. You got the meanings of the cards. You got the individual ideas. I shouldn't say crap, but crap in a general sense. Like, I have said a lot. But the overall story here is you have been working hard to bypass, to compensate for this person. They're spending more money. Your idea, I'll work harder. I'm putting in extra hours so that the family is fed. You have come to the conclusion that that is not going to work. That is a wall that you cannot climb. And this is an understanding that you have failed in that regard when it comes to compensating for whoever this person is compensating for their failings to understand, their failings to pull their weight. And now that you are coming to the realization that what you are doing is not succeeding, you now have the task of deciding what to do next. What will that next thing be? If the decision is to say, I'm already busting my butt, you have to look at them and either tell them you need to either start working harder so that you can earn the things that you're buying, which I wouldn't recommend because that's just validating what they're doing, or you can tell them you need to stop. But both of those things is going to lead to arguments. But those are arguments that I'm telling you have to have. Nobody wants to have an argument. I don't want to have an argument. But when it comes to core things like this, when it comes to legitimate core things in this relationship that are deep down, pillars of what your entire life is built upon, this person has taken a sledgehammer to those pillars. You got to take that sledgehammer away. You got to. And the reason why you guys are going to fight about it is because you are right. And they think they're right. And they're backing up why they think they're right with facts. If this is in your Cancer, if this is your particular exact story, expect the kind of answer of, well, our bills are paid. We have enough money. Expect that kind of answer. Expect that. Because that is logic that is flawed, but is backed by fact. It is easily validated and irrefutable. If you have all your bills paid, then I can clearly say that all your bills are paid, right? That is a fact. But if you're playing the long game and they're just looking into right now, yeah, they're right in the moment, but in the long run, you're not getting this. You're not getting that building towards success in the long run. What happens if all this extra time that you've been working dries up and now you're down to 40 hours a week? Or, hopefully not, but what if it's less? What if you start bringing in, half of what you're bringing in now? And the only way around that is to get a second job. Now you're miserable and they haven't changed because they're putting in their part of the relationship in their mind because the bills are paid. And they have that backed with fact. You got work ahead of you, Cancer. You really do. But this is powerful energy, very powerful energy. Use what is given to you to make the change that's going to benefit you and your peace of mind, in your family, in your future. Whatever it is that you're building toward, keep building toward it. Just know that whatever this phase that you're in right now is done. You are now over it, and it is time to go on the offensive. So, Cancer, I really hope this resonated with you, and thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And with that, Cancer, I will see you next week.